As your Sheriff and Director of Emergency Services, I can assure you that all the allied agencies in this unified command are working very diligently to bring this incident to a safe and speedy end. It's our primary objective to render this area safe and get affected residents back into their homes as soon as possible so you can settle back in. Regarding the incineration, yesterday, February 16th at about 11:45 a.m., the residence of 9021 Chaparral Drive was incinerated. Residence was loaded with an estimated 60 pounds of explosives and precursor explosive materials. Preliminary reports indicate a successful conclusion to this dangerous operation. And I'm very happy to relate that there were no reported civilian or public safety personnel injuries as a result of the incineration. I'm also pleased to tell you that no other structures, homes, or personal property was damaged or destroyed other than the intended residence. Due to the extensive planning of this operation, we were able to spare Mr. East's outbuildings and his 3 vehicles that were at the location of 9021 Chaparral. As of now, there have been no report of collateral damage to the 3 residents in the immediate area of the Chaparral Drive residence, and operational personnel were in constant contact with the property owners throughout the incineration process. As of today, Pacific Gas and Electric is in the process of inspecting their power lines and infrastructure from the air and have already begun restoring power to the affected residences. I know as of last night, we were in contact with them probably 6, 7 o'clock, and they had already restored power to about 9 residences there. For the site inspection, various experts, including bomb experts and environmental health, operating under this unified command, are currently in the process of conducting an initial survey of the burn site, and that's happening right now as we speak. It happened a few hours ago, starting. Once the site is rendered safe from explosive material and inspected for it, environmental health experts will begin sampling soils and the area around and the cleanup and testing. An estimated time for completion of this survey is undetermined. We are putting a rush on any testing and get those results back as soon as possible so we can continue moving forward. We will have fire rescue and law enforcement personnel in the immediate area around the clock to ensure safety and security of the evacuation zones. The evacuation zone of 2,000 feet will remain in effect. Experts are in the process of entering the burn site at the scene, and we plan on reducing that evacuation zone to the 1,000-foot evacuation area. The burn site at 9021 Chaparral remains a crime scene. Unauthorized personnel, media, or others could be subject to arrest. During the incineration, bomb experts related that there were at least 5 separate significant explosions and about 15 lesser explosions. These explosions were of a magnitude above the level of a normal house fire. Several times during the operations, bomb experts were ordered to take cover. These explosions were evident on live video streams at the command post. At this time, I'm not able to speculate as to what caused each of the specific explosions during the incineration. Currently, the site is in the cool down phase and it will be examined as soon as possible. Early reports from the California Army National Guard 95th Civil Support Teams, they had 9 air quality monitoring stations, along with the California Air Quality Resource Board, also known as CARB, indicate no abnormal toxic chemicals as a result of the incineration. They are continuing to monitor air quality. Possibly as soon as tomorrow, Shasta County Public Health, and she came in a little bit late, but we are joined by Terry Fields Hostler, representing Public Health in the back. Thank you for coming, Terry. Shasta County Environmental Health, the Central Valley Regional Water Control Board will begin examining the area for signs of soil and water contamination. Mike, do you have the video ready or still working on it?
Still working.
Okay. On February 16th, at about 2:30 in the morning, just before, a few hours before the burn incineration started, the suspect, D. Ray East, and his attorney met with investigators for a formal interview. Mr. East was cooperative and gave investigators valuable information regarding the volatile contents of his home. Mr. East told investigators there was a significant amount of HMDT, which is a very sensitive and volatile explosive, especially when it is a homemade explosive. There was mercury fulminate there, again, which is another dangerous and sensitive explosive. Over 20 pounds of gunpowder and thousands of shotgun shell primers amongst the suspected chemicals and precursor materials that were there. Now, in itself, gunpowder and black powder and shotgun shell primers are not illegal, but there was also the absence of cartridge reloading equipment there along with these other explosives. This information confirmed what our bomb experts suspected, validating their expertise, extensive training, and the recommendation to use extreme caution. Bomb experts said this was the worst case of homemade explosives and precursor materials they had seen. Adding that safety precautions they took in backing out of the room and not re-entering likely saved lives. They could have easily triggered a reaction or explosion during their initial examination of the scene, or even when the first responders from fire medical responded to scene as well. Initially, the bomb techs entered the residence. They made a visual inspection and took many photographs. They determined with the dispersion and mixing of these explosive precursor materials and the explosives and other materials, there was a danger to their own safety, so they safely exited the home. Based on their initial inspection and examination, they estimated the explosives and explosive precursor materials to be in excess of 40 pounds. Later, exterior inspections through windows and in closer examinations of photographs, they estimated those materials to be in excess of 60 pounds.